So the next question that's come up is very close to me because it sort of touches upon about my journey of transformation also. I was in a similar situation than, as this gentleman finds himself at this point of time. So I'm really excited and eager to answer this question, hoping that there's many others out there who are looking to transform their careers, their lives, their professions, and what they do for a living. So this gentleman writes, hope this email finds you well. I'd like to share my dilemma with you. Please help me with your advice and guidance. I'm working in a reputed software multinational corporation since the last 7 years, and I don't have any interest in the IT field. This job doesn't excite me, and day by day, my dissatisfaction level is getting very high. I want to leave the job and start preparing for the state PCS, UPSC, or a government job. And I have tried to prepare along with my job, but I find that I don't get enough time to do that alongside my job. I am done with living in a metro city, and I want to settle nearby my hometown with my parents, as my father has some major health issues. My questions for you are, should I leave my job now and start preparing for the government sector job? Certain age factors this gentleman has mentioned. I am 30 years old, will be married soon by February 2020 max, and my elder brother runs a coaching institute. I have about 6 lakh rupees of saving, which is equivalent to $10,000 US. That is the question of this gentleman, and thank you so much for asking this. And I think millions of people out there are looking to make a shift in their life, make some major changes in their life. And the sort of roadmap that I want to share with you would be helpful to, regardless of what is the change that you actually want to make. Is it a lifestyle change? Is it a career change? Is it a change in moving to a new city, moving to a new country? So let's just get started. I want to break down his question into a few things. Number one, he's done living with a metro. And I understand, having been born and raised in a small city myself, small city folks in India, we find it very hard to adapt to a metro's lifestyle. It's too fast, it's too hectic for us, and we love to come back to the comfort of our own small cities, and there's nothing absolutely wrong with it. I want to, challenge this notion that only people in metro cities are the super achievers, or they're special, or somehow they're the ones who are going to get the best opportunities. Having said that, I do agree that some of the best employment opportunities are available in these places, but in the era of the internet, in the era of entrepreneurship, in the era of e-commerce, in the era of a digital economy, I think it is now irrelevant where you're located. I could be sitting in my village, looking after my land, cultivating organic food, sleeping under the stars, and still be serving clients across the world. That's all your creativity, and that's what's going to be very important. He wants to be back near his hometown, which I understand. See, in India, the demographic change that happens, since a lot of employment opportunities came up in the metro cities, a lot of people from tier 2, tier 3 cities moved to these places, Hyderabad, Bangalore, New Delhi, Mumbai, for job opportunities. A part of their heart and their soul is still back in their hometowns, and some of them have still not been able to adapt, and they have this yearning, this longing to come back home. And at the same time, the situation is made difficult by the fact that they find themselves running a continuous race, to which they don't see a lot of progress happening there. And as this gentleman has mentioned, for the last 7 years, he's working with a reputed MNC, but he's not engaged in what he's doing. The passion is lost. He doesn't love that job. It's not challenging him enough. Sir, I'll tell you this. You're in a dangerous situation. Don't allow it to continue. You have to do something about it. You have to find a new challenge, either in the location that you're already in, either in the profession that you're already in, or changing it altogether. Because I believe if you're bored, if you're disengaged, people do dangerous things. Number one on the list is self-harm, self-sabotage. Alcohol, gambling, all sort of addictions, all sort of negative stuff. You find time for them, and you find sort of an escape mechanism in those things. If your work, if your profession, if your calling is not powerful enough, if it's not engaging you. So yes, that is the thing I'll tell you right now, that you have no interest in this field and your dissatisfaction is very high, which is an indicator that it's the right time to take some decisions. Now my question is, why specifically a government job? Why do you want to move back to your hometown and just go in for a government job, UPSC or state PCS, those sort of things? I want to challenge the notion a little bit, because you're working on an assumption that a government job is going to be very comfortable. It will allow me the time to look after my dad. I won't be transferred anywhere. You're working on those sort of assumptions. And I only want to I only want to ask you to keep this in consideration, that you don't want to make the entire shift back to your hometown and then realize that the option that you've now selected is again not, satisfactory, is again not fulfilling your criteria. So maybe, are you looking for a government job because it's comfortable? Or is this government job thing, is it a substitute for what you really want to do in your life? When I wanted to move back to India and to leave the hospitality industry, although I was doing very well, and I've shared that story in numerous other videos, I wanted to go in for an MBA. Now, it's not like I was most passionate about doing an MBA and studying financial accounting. No, it was the safest option. It was a substitute for what my heart really wanted to do. What my heart really wanted to do is what I'm doing right now. Being an entrepreneur, finding my own path, exploring something that I've never done before, answering my calling, using my strength. I doubt having done an MBA and entering the corporate world would have allowed me the opportunity to do so. However, the MBA was the safest option available. It's what everybody was doing. I hope, my friend, you're not making this mistake. I hope this whole government-based job thing is not just a substitute for what you really want to do. Since you're going to make a major change anyway, if you are going to leave that city that you're in, if you're going to leave the job that you currently have, if you're going to leave the profession that you're in, you're going to make a major change. And since you are making a major change, I think it makes sense that right now is the opportunity for you to ask yourself, what do I really want to do with my life? What will make me most fulfilled? What would I really enjoy doing so much that money becomes a secondary thing? And how can I make a living out of that? Ask yourselves these challenging, powerful questions. It's a good opportunity to do so. If you are taking a plunge into the unknown anyway, make sure that you're not going for a substitute, that you're going after the real thing. The second question I have that I want to ask you is this. Are you prepared for a major shift, a major transformation in your career? You see, a lot of people talk about change. Actually, everybody would love to go to heaven, right? But nobody wants to die in order to get to heaven. A lot of people preach change, talk about transformation, talk about fitness, talk about health and weight loss and those sort of things and living your dreams and all that. Minuscule, small percentage of people actually have the courage to go through that major transformation. You need to check with yourself because you don't want to leave everything behind, only to embark upon a journey and then quit. Because this is going to be a major jump outside your comfort zone. You've been in a job for 7 years, my friend. And please understand, I don't know who said this, but the quotation went something like this. A paycheck and nicotine are two of the highest addictive substances on this planet. A paycheck every month, you don't know where it comes from, it's coming into your bank account, and nicotine are very, very addictive. You've been addicted to that for 7 years. Now suddenly, that freedom, that security, that safety is going to vanish, and you're out there, hunting once again, trying to figure out everything on your own. Are you prepared for that? Are you prepared to pay the price for this change? The rewards are going to be huge. The rewards are you are embarking on creating the life that you want to create. But the price that you will have to pay is going to be a major price. It's going to be upsetting everything. The fact that you're going to be married soon and you'll start a family soon, it's not only you, it's also going to be another person that you're going to impact. It's not only you, it's your retired parents also that you're going to impact. So you really have to check with yourself, do I have the staying power to go through this? Will I be able to persist in the face of difficulties? And also to consider if the government job thing doesn't work out, what are my other options? And by the way, since you're thinking of moving into your hometown, I'm assuming it's a tier 2 city, have you considered entrepreneurship? Because it's going to give you way more freedom. Your brother is running already a coaching center. Can you consider something of your own? And I think the same message I want to give to youngsters across the nation, across India, who are currently living in metros and who would like to move back to their hometowns. Entrepreneurship, solopreneurship, wherein you're a freelancer working on your own or you're running a small team, perhaps it is very challenging, obviously no doubt about it. But perhaps is going to be one of those few areas where you will have the liberty choose your own working hours, to choose your own clients, to choose how much work you're going to take on board. You will have a lot of freedom regarding so many things. My request to you is, please do consider entrepreneurship as well. Because for you, if freedom and that sort of flexibility are one of the areas that you're most concerned about, moving from one job to another might not satisfy that. Entrepreneurship can fulfill that criteria. So, and that's what I wanted to talk about. In the closing part of this video, in helping you find your solution and helping you find your own path. And please don't go after anything that I suggest. My intention here is to be able to challenge your different points of view so that you're able to decide what your best option might be. Perseverance, my friend, is going to be your key. If you actually embark on this journey, it's easy to start, it's tough to finish. I think this is worth repeating. In any major transformation, whether you're renovating the home, renovating your office, losing weight, being an entrepreneur, being a solopreneur, jumping into a new profession, easy to start, tough to finish. And the ones who stick to it, the ones who actually finish it, who see it through, are the ones who are going to get the rewards. Are you one of those? Is a question we really have to ask. And one of my final suggestions to you is, be more innovative about your options. So you're really going after this option of a government job. And I would suggest, since you're embarking on a major change journey, be more creative about what other options could be on the table. Moving back to your hometown, right? Sometimes it's the lack of this creativity that restricts our options. There is so much happening right now, so many new opportunities. There's e-commerce. You can create, you can sell to consumers across the country. There's organic farming. I always encourage youngsters who come from the hinterland, organic farming. Is this something which is unexplored? There's so many things which we do not even consider because they're not popular yet. We tend to go after the popular options. Government jobs, number one. I gotta go in for a government job. I'll have that power and the prestige and the pensions. I don't think they exist anymore. You see a lot of more accountability is going to go into government jobs. So it's not going to be that relaxed thing anymore, which a lot of people haven't in mind. But think more creatively. What could you do sitting in your hometown, which would be economically rewarding, and you can be your own boss? And there's 100 things in this growing economy, in this digital economy, in this connected economy that you can serve your clients, and you can still be in your hometown. So my role here was to help you lay out all the options in front of you. You're the ultimate decision maker. In my own journey, from leaving my job, leaving the country that I was living in for 4 years, leaving my career path, venturing into something completely unknown, becoming an entrepreneur, I suggest you watch the other videos about my story. The only one thing that became very, very evident is that don't let this process overwhelm you. You're only going to discover a lot of the next steps after you start. But courage and persistence are two of the most important things that will help you sail through these tough, difficult times. And the outcome is going to be very, very rewarding. I'll finish with this quote. If you do today what others are not doing, you will have tomorrow what others don't have. If you have the courage and the persistence to do those things today which others are not doing, you will have the rewards tomorrow which others won't have. Think wisely, choose wisely. I wish you all the best. Thank you.